everyone, I'm Brad, and on this episode of TrailRecon, we are out here in Calico Ghost Town. We're gonna do the Odessa Trail. This is gonna be a really exciting day. This trail is supposed to be very difficult, so we're getting a lot of technical stuff. And I've got my son Jordan here with me, and this is really kind of a special day because he's getting ready to join the Navy in about the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna do what when you graduate boot camp?
Be a corpsman.
Be a corpsman like his dad, right? So that's what I'm talking about. But it's gonna be a while before we get the opportunity to kind of go Jeep again and together. So it's gonna be a really kind of a cool day. Looking forward to it. Now maybe when you get a break from boot camp, we might have a little trip planned, hopefully, but it's gonna be a while. You know, he's behind the camera all the time, guys, behind the scenes helping out with these videos. So you're gonna be missed, bud, but let's go have a great time today.
All right, sounds good.
Let's do it. The Odessa-Doran Canyon Loop Trail is located east of Barstow, California, just off Interstate 15 in the Calico Mountains. And the trail entrance is well marked and easy to find, and it's just east of the Calico Ghost Town. There are over 500 silver mines in this area, and you will see many along the trail. This place was booming in the late 1800s. This trail is rated as difficult, and after just a short drive from the trailhead, you will enter a spectacular narrow canyon section. It was almost like being on a different planet. It was very cool in here. We quickly began hitting some fun obstacles, and this was just a small taste of things yet to come. Scratch those wheels. I was giving my son a hard time because this was the first time out on our new KMC beadlocks, and I knew we were going to scratch him today, and he was going to be the first one to do it.
Yeah, so actually there's 2,000 RPM for me.
There were 6 Jeeps in our group today, and while this trail is rated as difficult, most of the Jeeps in our group are just lightly modified daily drivers.
Okay there, Dirk? Yeah, got a little stuck on this. Looks like it was what, your driver's rear tire? Kinda got stuck a little.
there are some pretty solid obstacles along this trail, but sometimes it's the small obstacles that can really get you. You really have to select your tire placement very carefully and use your lockers when appropriate along this trail. A good friend of ours got a little high-centered, but we quickly whipped out the winch and pulled him off. Thankfully, this section was one of the very few parts that actually had a bypass. Most of the sections didn't. My buddy Joe was even struggling a little through this area, and he decided to do a little landscaping and move a bunch of boulders around with his Jeep to make it a little easier. Probably not the best way to do it, but this is a great example of why having some good Under Armour and strong components on your Jeep is really important. Now, he was able to finally make it over with no problems. Unfortunately, he broke off one of the rim center caps in the process. This next section of the trail looks very intimidating. You go up a very steep, rocky climb, and you are leaning to the driver's side the whole way up. You have to take your time and go slow as you approach the top because there's a little bit of a turn up there, and if you are driving a 4-door hardtop, you are going to come within inches of the rock face. You've really got to pay attention and go slow. Choose your line carefully. This next section of trail is known as Pucker Pass. It may not look like much, but it is very narrow and there is a steep drop to the driver's side and you start to lean towards it as you're going up. There is one dip on the trail that your rear tire has to sink down into. You really need to get your line perfect here. I let my son drive and put faith into the spotter. I'm pretty sure I was more nervous than my son going through this section. We finally reached the end of the Odessa portion of the trail. This whole loop is only 6 miles long, but it is slow going with all these obstacles. The trail opens up to a very large mined area, and this is where you will begin your descent back down the mountain on the Doran side of the trail. We decided to take a break, eat some lunch, and check out some of the mines. What a spectacular day so far.
Okay, you're coming down. Slow. Straight. You're good. You're good. Nice and slow. Nice and slow. You're good. Slow. You're coming down on the right. You're good.
You can hear it right there with those tires hitting the fenders. Yeah, ever since I went to that 3.5-inch backspacing with these rims, I have been tearing up these fenders. I'm surprised they didn't get ripped off during this trail, but I either need to trim these or put some new fenders on here pretty soon. You know, it's situations exactly like this why you do Under Armour protection on your rig. You know, maybe if I would have had 37s, I would have cleared this, but I was thankful to have all that protection. This was without a doubt the narrowest part of the trail all day. You know, having a four-door and making this turn, you just get so close to that wall and you're bouncing around. It was a little intimidating, I gotta be honest. And we saw this on the side of the trail. You know, chrome doesn't get you home, and here's an example of that. Here's a really good example of the advantage a two-door has over a four-door. You know, the turning radius on a two-door is awesome. And so navigating through this narrow canyon in these tight spaces like this was easy for them, no problem. We had tackled every obstacle we had encountered today, but this last section on the Doran Trail, well, we walked it for a while, we talked it through, we probably dared each other more than once and decided this is a section best left for the hardcore rock crawler rigs. So we took the bypass on this one and ventured off into the caves, which were pretty cool. I think maybe this is how Jeeps are born. After 6 miles and about 4 hours and some really cool obstacles today, we've tackled this trail, and what an awesome day. How'd you think? It was a good trail?
It was great.
It was a great trail, guys. I mean, there's so many obstacles. You're not gonna blow through this by any means. Going up the Odessa Canyon side and then hitting the mines and checking that all out, and then coming down the Doran Canyon side, that was a little tough, I thought. What was your favorite section?
I definitely like the Doran part of the trail.
Yeah, where it was narrow through the canyons and some of those drop-offs. It was pretty crazy. Now, through that pucker section I let you drive, I gotta tell you, you said you were fine. I was a little puckered, man.
It wasn't my Jeep.
Yeah, okay, well, anyway, that was pretty cool. That section right there will get you. But all the other stuff, you just gotta take your time, go slow. This is a great trail. You definitely need to have bigger tires and a lift kit and some armor when you come out here. Very cool trail, guys. Highly recommend it. Hey, if you're visiting the channel for the first time, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a member of the TrailRecon team. Until next time, we'll see you out on trail.